Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Hello, Tim.
Hey, hey.
What Watagwan?
Was that directed at one of us, or you just wanted to say that?
I'm just being stupid. I'm just being
I think
stupid.
you just wanted to say that like
How are you
that.
guys doing today?
Good?
Good?
Yup.
How was your how was your Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo was busy, and that's about it. Just work vibes. Nothing
Yeah,
crazy on my end. What about you?
yeah. Same. Just busy, busy. Might
Mm-hmm.
take a tequila shot later.
Hey, okay.
It's been one of those, I want to say days, but it's been like a full week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear
How about
you.
you,
I
Tim?
hear you.
um, I've been off since Friday last week, and I've been doing a lot of things on my property. But
Okay.
today I was in a meeting, um, a big people meeting. Uh,
Mm.
like not that kind of big, but yeah.
Oh.
Relax, please.
Yeah, I actually don't know what you guys are talking about, but
Yeah, but I was in like a online session for like 3.5 hours. So
nah.
Oh, that sounds
so
fun.
let's just say
Actually sounded like the last week too.
I didn't even clue in that it was Cinco de Mayo today, but I did have a shot of tequila. I will be honest. I
Oh,
did.
dang. Okay. He's
So
ahead of the
So
game. He's
subconsciously you
ahead
knew it
of the
was
no,
game.
it could have been, it could have been, it could have been Cinco to whatever, and I'd have probably
Pour
still
it up, pour it up.
consumed. Yep.
Consumed
Yep.
an alcoholic beverage. We hear you.
that's
I had a
funny.
meeting today too. I guess today's the day of meetings because that's how my
Well,
day started off for about a
probably know
couple of
why you
hours.
had a meeting today.
You're funny.
Lord. Well, for those that are watching, welcome back to Let's Be Real. On the show, for those that are new, because I know we have a lot of new followers over the last week. We talk about the arts, we talk about small businesses, relationships. Well, that seems to be our favorite topic. Current events in the Caribbean and African community. Throughout the show, we want you to get involved. We want you to ask questions, post your comments, your opinions. The show's about you. The show's about us. Let's get ready to be real. Oh wait, I forgot to introduce me. Us. I am Danielle, your host, along with your guys' hosts, Kiki and Mr. Noel. So,
Hello.
hello. I'm sure you guys heard the new COVID restrictions.
Oh yeah.
That's
Came
probably
down
why
with
you
the
guys had
hammer
meetings today.
yesterday, you know.
Yeah, yeah. What are your guys' thoughts? Because I'm literally over it. I'm just done.
Thoughts.
I'm done.
So let's recap. What
Hmm.
what's what's new or what was implemented? Um,
I don't even know what's new
Backyard
because it seems.
outdoor gatherings are now down to 5.
yep.
Um,
Okay,
Patios
Re-
are shut down.
yeah,
right.
so is like hair salons, nail salons, that sort of
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, Retail capacity is now down to 10% or a
Oh,
minimum of 5 people, I guess, depending on how big the store is or the business. What else? K to 12 is going to be home now.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, yeah.
What else was stated?
I'm
I
surprised.
feel like
I
I
don't
feel
need to
like I'm
put this in
missing
the air.
something. Hmm.
I don't want to put this in the air, but I'm surprised there hasn't been a curfew yet.
Well, see, that's actually what I was waiting to hear because when I
Yeah.
got home yesterday, um, I caught I caught it right as it started, and
Mm.
I was like, oh. here comes the curfew. Here comes the curfew, but it didn't come. So, do you guys? Well, I don't think anyone wants a curfew. Do you think a curfew would be
No.
better than
It'll
a
do
full
nothing.
lockdown? Well, I was gonna say, like, if they'd give a
No.
curfew, people are still probably gonna go out or do stuff in their backyards. It's sad to say, but there's more of us than them, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough resources really to keep track of everything. All I know is that I don't want a $2,000 fine ever, because they doubled that. That is something
Yeah.
that they implemented. They doubled the fine
Yeah, I
for
saw that.
breaking the restrictions and stuff like that. So I ain't playing. I ain't playing with that. So yeah. But to be honest, with you, like, I don't really know what I was expecting. I've mentioned this many times before. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes, making these tough decisions. But with that being said, do I think, what was announced yesterday is gonna make a huge difference? I don't know. Slashing outdoor gatherings from 10 to 5, and retail capacity going down from 15 to 10%. People are just gonna be standing in lines longer to get what it is that they want, and not socially distancing while they're doing that. So I don't know. I don't really feel, and now that it's getting warmer, more people are going to be outside, more people are going to want to be doing things. So I don't really see it doing a whole lot, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's not our first time, it's not our second time. So who knows? Maybe there'll be.
Sorry, did they change the numbers for like weddings and funerals and stuff? Or is that the same?
He mentioned something, but to be honest with you, I can't recall exactly what that was. So I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I'm not too sure, but I don't know. Do you guys think that they should just shut everything down, or shut down non-essentials for, a few weeks? Were you expecting that?
That's what I was expecting, to be honest.
I
was honestly expecting that.
Yeah.
And then when I heard this, I'm just like, so we're back to what it was, a few months ago? Like,
yeah. I feel like patio should have been shut down from the jump, to be honest with you. And I've said this before, it kind of defeats the purpose of them closing down indoor dining, when they just did everything in their power to upscale like the patio dining. So I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't have been a thing to begin with.
Yeah.
Because like I said, with the weather being nicer, there were so many people going out to eat and just having a good time, which you can't blame people either. But
yeah,
I don't know. To me, it was very contradicting when they did that. So
yeah, to be honest, I kind of had a feeling it was going to happen, because a lockdown seems to happen like the week of something major or the week after. So Mother's Day is coming up this weekend, the day where everyone wants to go to a restaurant and eat.
Yeah.
It just
I hate that they call it a lockdown, though. This is not a lockdown.
That's the thing. I'm like, yeah,
Alberta
it's
is
not. That's why I keep going.
Is not in a lockdown.
Restrictions.
Yeah,
that's what I keep
people
saying.
Keep saying we're in lockdown. No, we're not. Like, have you seen Ontario? We're nowhere close to a lockdown.
Yeah.
You can still go to a mall. You can still roam the streets whenever you want, pretty much. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know if it's gonna do much, but summer is steadily approaching, and I don't want us to hit mid-June, July, August, and we're getting 2,000, 3,000 cases a day, because that'll be no fun. And I feel like if we do get to that point, then we will get a lockdown, and that would not be fun. Like that would not be fun. So to me, it's like, do what you got to do now. It is disruptive. Life as we know it is very disruptive right now, but living in a place like Alberta, especially Edmonton, and the type of weather that we get here, we need to enjoy our summer. You know what I mean? We can't be locked up in our houses in the summertime. And I just feel like if it does come down to that, people are going to rebel even more so. than they
Yeah.
are now. So I just
Yeah.
feel like, you know what, it needs to happen. So
I just
yeah.
saw Nigel's comment. The rodeo was a huge factor. So was the crazy surge of COVID cases in Fort Mac.
Hmm.
So,
But do we know why it spiked? Like, do you know why it spiked in Fort Mac or?
well, one person that they were anonymous because they are a contractor out in Fort Mac. They were just
Okay.
like, none of the businesses sanitize. They barely have sanitizer in the oil. I could be wrong. In the oil business, like oil companies, the buses are always jam packed, so no one's really social distancing. And
Interesting.
I think Syncrude has one of the highest numbers, but they can't shut down
Hmm.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
they
well,
literally provide they literally provide oil.
yeah, I checked out some of
So,
the actual like stats today. Calgary right now has like over 10,000 active cases. Um,
hmm
Edmonton
didn't we
has over 6,000. So Calgary's
didn't
booming right now.
didn't we surpass Ontario's numbers, or are we close? I remember hearing
We had
something
like
about
the
that.
highest
Yeah.
per we had like the highest per
Per
capita
Per
capita, yeah,
capita,
in
yeah, I
North
agree.
America.
yeah,
In
yeah,
North America?
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Yeah. So,
You know what though? But that doesn't say much to be honest. Because
yeah.
like I think there's a lot of places like if you look at like Florida, you look at
hmm
Atlanta, there's some states that everybody's back to normal. And I would just assume no one's getting tested. You
it
know,
could be that too.
Yeah.
I think there's more testing that's happening. Testing's readily available, and it's a
Hmm.
pretty finicky test
hmm
from what I've heard.
Right.
And that kind of make it, if in that regard it makes sense. Otherwise, like how are places that people are going on like things are normal having worse results? You know, that's the thing that's been
hmm
really confusing about all of this. But you know, then it the use of the numbers, the data that's not necessarily be given out in a quick way, and the hysteria that's around all of this.
Hmm.
hmm
Um,
Well,
like
I
I would
felt
not like to be honest. Like this is a tough time to be governing.
it
I'm not a
is.
fan of
Yeah.
Jason Kenney and a lot of the politics of the UCP, but
Right.
like I bet you there's a lot of leaders that are like, "Ooh, glad I lost," because
hmm
this is like, do you know what I mean? Like this is your legacy. Like this is their legacy, right? And this is a rough time. Look at Nenshi down in Calgary's like, I ain't running again. I think that's mostly to do with COVID.
Yeah.
Mostly to do with that. So
I did see
Yeah.
today when they announced, the new active cases and stuff like that, that there were the three deaths that we had in the province were people who were under the age of, I think it was 40.
mhm.
It was either 40 or 50, I believe. So, and from what I've heard as well, is that a lot of people who are in the ICU right now, I think someone mentioned to me it was about 25% of the individuals who are in the ICU are under the age of 20.
Oh wow.
So that was the first that I was hearing, that
hmm
sort of statistic, but it was quite shocking when I heard that information today. I was like, that is crazy. So,
Yeah.
but like they've been saying, it's starting to affect a lot of younger people.
That's
So
crazy. But what variant is it? Because there's supposedly 980,000
I
variants.
I have no idea.
So,
No idea. But yeah,
yeah.
it's a crazy time. It's not a fun time.
hmm No.
So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
hmm
Yes.
I see a couple comments from Aisha. Florida and New York are living it up. Atlanta's living it up. Texas is living it up. Um, what other state? I think Washington, D.C., I think they're fully open, I think as of Saturday.
Okay.
I believe they're fully open. There was another state that was fully opened over the weekend. But yeah, I don't know what their stats are, but I'm just over it. I'm honestly just done. I'm just done.
I hear you.
Yeah. So did you guys see Will Smith's dad bod?
The amount of guys that are like, hey, he looks like me.
Yeah, there was another post, I think sometime today. They were posting like DMs or like pictures that people have been sending in DMs of guys showing off their dad bod. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's starting a conversation though with his dad bod. I mean, this isn't the first time we've heard about the dad bod, but I mean, it's Will Smith.
Does everyone
when it's like Will Smith, you know what I mean? Remember what he looked like with Ali when he was in Ali and some of those other movies? He really was, you know, in good shape. So,
but that's the whole reason why he. Yeah, I was just going to say the only reason why. I was gonna say no. The reason why he posted it is because he's doing a fitness series on YouTube.
Right, and then some people, were saying that you know he probably just gained the weight so that he can drop all the weight and like monetize off of it and yada yada yada. And I'm like, he's a smart dude. So
very smart.
You know, and the moment he got onto Instagram, like he's been doing everything, you know what I mean, to collect that check, and he's been very smart about his movements in that sense. So
it's just so funny though, like this is kind of off topic, but it's so funny that you know, when you like somebody or you like what they do, when when they do those shameless things, it's okay, you know, like the fact that he might have like gained that weight to take that picture, like it was, you know what I mean? Like if someone plugs something or somebody, you know, that we know is talking about the thing they're doing, their product in a kind of less than like walk backwards, humble way, it's seen as so like, oh, that person. But like, you know, like when you think about what he, like if he really did that, or even the fact that he has a YouTube fitness thing, really, I didn't know that. And that really just changes it. But we could still use it to start that conversation.
That's true.
Because I looked at it kind of like there's a body positivity side of it. But then it's just like, oh, he's doing a fitness show. Then it's just like, is that body positive? You know? Yeah, he's like, hey, look at me, everybody. I'm going to get rid of this.
He said it's his pandemic bod, and you know, maybe it is. He hasn't been doing much. He's just been at home, like chilling and munching, not working out. And maybe
but he can afford a personal trainer and a chef.
Maybe someone just went to him and said, hey, you know, I realized, you know, that you're on this fitness journey. You know, you're trying to get back to a certain look. So why not document it? And then it just became a thing. You know what I mean? So maybe it genuinely started off like that. And
I want to know who's the person that goes up to Will Smith like, hey, you know, like he's like Will Smith.
Like I said, they're smart people, but
you know, I hear you though. I hear you.
Yeah. I don't know. You think he's like at home saying like, yo, man, I'm just gonna eat a lot so that I can gain weight. Like maybe he did just genuinely gain the weight, but then they decided to make money from it. You know what I mean? So can't front on him for that. So yeah.
It's too funny.
Nigel says it took me 15 years to earn my pandemic bod.
You know what? Like right when the pandemic started, I was like in pretty good shape. It didn't take long at all. Like at all. Like I remember I had a show. I had a show at the Starlight Room. Okay. And I'm just like, I go and I'm just grabbing grabbing a suit and grabbing some shirt, and the struggles were like, and I'm like,
oh no.
No, seriously.
Wow.
No,
So
I was.
how far in of the pandemic were you when you found this out? Or was
This
this
was
like
maybe July. So it was only a few months.
a few months, yeah.
Few months. I was like, oh.
Well, we're a year into the pandemic, and
yeah.
do you guys have any sort of fitness goals? Do you still have your pandemic bods? Like, are you happy with your pandemic bod? Are you trying to switch it up for the summer?
I talk about dealing with my pandemic bod, but I'm gonna say this to everybody. I'm going to start running. I'm going to start running, and like Nerf. I've been playing Nerf with my kids, and that has been
a calorie burner.
Yeah.
Well,
did you get the news?
It's like almost a Tim killer, but yes, calories were burned in the process.
Did you get the new Nerf gun?
Good.
What new Nerf gun?
There's a new Nerf gun that like makes the Nerf turn corners.
What?
Boomerang? No, I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah. It literally came out. Yeah, it literally came out I think last week. So it's weird. So you turn the nozzle or like the end of the gun, so you can make it turn left, turn right, or go like over.
That's funny. Tanya said, my bottle recycling, tell my weight gain story. I'm just keeping this bod well moisturized, wear sunscreen. I actually just started working out again this week. Ooh, so kudos.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. My pandemic bod, it's okay, but I've always said I'm kind of on the other end of the spectrum. You know, I haven't been working out. I lose weight. You know, I've been losing muscle mass, and you know, I plan on being extremely active this summer. So, you know, biking and stuff like that. I bike quite a bit, and I leaned out so much last summer because the gyms were closed and stuff, and I wasn't going, so I wasn't lifting, and it just leaned me out so much. And then in the fall, I went back to the gyms before, you know, they closed down and stuff like that. So I really made it my focus to try to maintain that muscle mass. So, you know, I've been doing my thing. I've been doing what I can this past week and a bit here. So yeah,
that's good.
I don't know why I take it like the way that I do when people like lose weight like that. Like I don't know why. Okay, I do know why. I'm jealous.
You're not the only one.
I know I'm not the only one, but like it. But you know, as she is talking, I'm just like
someone who says they gain.
I'm like, this is really awesome that we're not in the same room. Because, well, you know, I just leaned out so much. Like,
yes, Aisha, lose weight. June says, I keep telling Kiki I wish I had her problem. A lot of people wish they had my problem, but like I said, if you were in my shoes, you know, especially when you look a certain way, and a lot of it for me is just a strength factor too. Like I can tell when, like, you know, my strength just isn't what it used to be, or my endurance. Like I said, I want to be biking a lot, and my endurance is nowhere where it usually is. So I had to get on top of it. So yeah. We'll see what happens in the next few months here. I'm planning on going ham. So
Aisha said, all right, so I refuse to step on a scale. It don't like me, and I don't like it.
There you go.
Now, listen,
so we're gonna talk.
I was at a detachment, and they have like proper weight scales usually down by where the server rooms are, because there's like usually a gym in all the detachments.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go and check my weight. When I see that weight, let me tell you, I almost stripped naked to be like, nah, that ain't right. Like I'm taking my shoes off, my jacket, I'm taking everything. I'm like, no, man, like this is not right.
5 pounds of muscle and 5 pounds of fat look completely different, but it's still 5 pounds. Just remember that. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Thanks, Kiki.
Keep that in mind, okay?
So we're going to
let the
document
numbers
it.
get to you too much.
So we're going to document it.
Document what?
May 5th, Tim said he's going to start running.
Cinco de Mayo. Candra's going to bulk up. Hey.
Candra's going to bulk up.
Danny, what are you going to do?
I've been slowly losing weight, so already since February. So
nice.
Oh, 2 people I don't like. I mean, that's really good. Congratulations. Like, that's awesome.
Look, this is my diet right now. This is my diet every week.
You make H2O. Stay hydrated.
Now, that's right. It's the hi Karina. It is the air fryer plantain.
Hey.
Did you guys?
And I'm literally
bike ride.
I'm bike ride distance from, how do you say it? Queso? The Caso, the.
Oh yeah. The rest the grocery store,
the African Caribbean grocery store.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Did you guys?
I interrupted you about 6 times, so.
It's okay. Did you guys? Once I saw the plantain, however, I don't know what we want to pronounce it. There was a video, plantain. There's a video going around of someone cutting it into French fry, like crinkle cut French fries.
What?
And frying it.
I ain't never seen
and
that.
Frying it.
How would you even get it like that without it?
I don't know, but it looked good. It looked, someone like
I don't
5
know,
people
man.
sent it to me today.
People be messing with the things sometimes.
Yeah, but it looked good.
Just be messing with the wrong things.
It looked good.
Thing. We do not need crinkle cut plantain, okay? We don't. I'm gonna just put that out there. Come at me.
Just put it out there? Oh?
Yes.
She gave you guys permission. So.
I'm standing firm on that one.
But it might taste better because it's more, I don't know. Anyway.
It'll taste the same. Although everyone's plantain don't taste the same, so.
Very true.
That's a different debate right there.
Very true. Do you like yours a little crispy at the edges?
I don't mind a little crisp. I don't mind a little crisp. Yeah.
Crisp.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you see that meme with the guy that with the 2 looks at the plantain and then he looks away and then it's like burned. I don't know if you see that.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
That's so
I've seen
true.
it a few times, but it's so funny. It is true.
That's like my avocado when you're waiting for it to ripe.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not ready yet.
Nigel, you don't like plantain?
Oh Lord. Uh-oh.
Are we banning him?
You don't like plantain.
Are we banning him from this page? Because
we're gonna have a debate. What foods don't you like? What foods are gonna make
Karina,
you
listen, we'll talk after, and I will show you my ways of how to get the proper plantain consistency from an air fryer. Everybody's going in on Nigel.
I love my air fryer. Let me see here.
Nigel's a weirdo. Throw him away. Nigel is strange. Jeez.
Wow.
Nigel's gonna come up with a video tomorrow about plantain shaming.
Yes.
I can't.
I too have been like.
Oh my god, I can't.
He's just gonna be like, it's a setup. It's a setup. Promise.
Those words never came out of my mouth.
You low-key played yourself though, Nigel. I feel like, maybe you should have kept
this
that.
This is a wrong group to say that in, boy.
Kept that information to yourself. You feel me? But that's okay. Yep. It's all love still. It's all love.
Is it though?
Just kidding. Yes.
Well, more planted for me.
Exactly.
Hey, there you go.
Make sure when you have a party, it's just all plantain. So when Nigel... did you guys watch, speaking of the Smith family, did you guys watch or hear about Red Table last Wednesday? Or this Wednesday? Last Wednesday?
Vaguely.
Did anyone? Vaguely?
Listen.
It's
about polyamory. Polyamory. I can't even say it.
Polyamory.
Relationship. Yes. Yeah, relationships. So she's in one. And she told her mom and her grandma, or Grammy is what
This is Willow,
I
right?
think what she
Willow.
calls them. Willow, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Her mom's accepting of it.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmother, not so much.
Yeah, I saw a couple clips. I didn't watch the entire
not
thing,
into it.
but
Not into it. But she said that. No, I was gonna say she said that she was introduced to it in a non-sexual lens. I don't know what that means. She didn't really go in depth with that.
Do we want to dig into that and see if
we can
kind of know what she's trying to?
We can.
Someone introduces polyamory to you in a non-sexual way.
Sexual.
When you hear that, what comes to mind? Like, how do you think someone approaches
I have
that
no
or brings
idea.
that?
It's like it's like, well, I don't know how someone introduces it, but it's like having a partner that there isn't a sexual thing there, but it's basically
but
like,
there's still like
isn't that like a friendship?
Intimacy, like without like.
I think they're acknowledging like
a
deeper,
I feel like it
deeper
would...
affection without the sexual side.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I know somebody that it was kind of weird. No, okay, I don't use the word weird, but it was really different when they're like, yeah, we're partners, but we're not like, the one girl, she has a boyfriend. They live together. Or no, they didn't live together at first, but she was living with this person she describes as her like her partner, non-sexual partner. This person helps her raise her kids and does this and does all kinds of stuff. And then she has a boyfriend.
And the boyfriend, was there anything physical with the boyfriend or not?
Oh, you mean like with the partner?
Because you said the partner, there was no like physical aspect.
The two women, there isn't, like, at least it's said that they don't have the sexual relationship, but they're partners. And then she has a boyfriend, which is her sexual partner.
But then is that... Oh, okay.
Yeah. So hold on, let's look up. I could go. I'm not going to go off the top.
I feel like that's kind of a different kind of.
I could tell you what it is. I could tell you what it is.
Okay, Dan, tell us what it is.
It's a practice of or desire for intimate relationships with more than one partner, with informed consent of all partners involved.
Okay.
And then it says dating as a polyamorous person means you're not looking for just one person to share a romantic or sexual connection with. So it's almost like I don't know. Anytime I hear that word, I'm thinking sexual. Like I don't see.
Is it mostly just like an emotional thing then? But
it could be.
Why
it's
can't
emotional.
It just be,
like it's.
So why can't
it's
it
like
just
you
be
having
like
an emotional affair. Imagine having, when they. I'm sorry. Go on.
No. I was just gonna say, like, why can't it be just like a friend thing then? Like, why isn't it just a friend thing? Because I got friends, y'all are cool and we chill, we hang out, we do stuff for each other, but I don't consider myself to be in a, polyamorous relationship. So, what's the fine line that distinguishes something like that?
If you're in one?
Yeah, versus not. Does anyone have any?
I think it's about the level of closeness between those people. Like, how you have like I was saying earlier, like people say they're having an emotional affair.
Right.
Like, so imagine that you have there's another person that you don't do sexual things with, but there's an intense emotional part to the relationship.
Okay, I can get that.
But I think that our definition of friendship is so watered down that, like, really you might have just found a best friend, but you call all 500 people your friend, and so this other one must be something more, but really you only have 5 friends, but you don't really know that.
That's an interesting topic too, because I've had a lot of times people say, "Oh, so and so is your friend," and I've corrected people numerous times saying, "Oh no, they're an acquaintance."
Right.
Yeah.
But that's because for me personally, I hold, friendship, I guess, is something very important. And we've discussed on here too that there's different levels of friendship. You know, you got different types of friends for different things, but you know, there's just certain people that I'm you know, I don't consider a friend. Not that I'm not cool with them if I don't see that, like if I see them and stuff, you know, but nah, they ain't getting that title from me. But
right. But then there's some like,
but there are some people.
BFFs everywhere.
Right, exactly. Everybody's their friend, and nah, I don't ramp like that. But
so yeah, I could see that. But again, it's not necessarily mine to judge. But I'm also the guy that thinks that, you know, most of us are polyamorous. When we look at the true definition of monogamy, monogamy is like finding your life partner and that's it. You don't have sex with anybody else. You know, and that's one. You have one partner, and you have sex with one person, and it's usually in the confines of exclusivity or marriage in most cultures. But we've changed the definition of monogamy is changed to just mean like I have sex with one person at a time, or I'm in a romantic relationship with one person at a time. But really, serial monogamy is polyamory. It's just not at the same time. And you'll have multiple sexual partners in a year or in a week.
I wanted to go back to some of these comments here. So Nigel said, so having a relationship with more than one person is not a sexual thing. Greg said, if they wound up having a happy home, then more power to them. June said, so she has a roommate. Aisha says, yo, that sounds dope. Nigel followed up with, so she found a person willing to deal with the BS without the sex. That's what it sounds like to me. Aisha said, polyamory sounds like big people ting, mad mature. She seems like she's kind of digging the polyamory vibes. Aisha, correct me if I'm wrong. Greg said, not the same thing, not the same as having a side ting. Monogamy is a fickle thing. If it's supposed to be doable, then why so many cheat?
Ooh.
And then she said, if polyamory is open and honest and people are all on the same page, to me, that's much more honest to what people can actually find doable. June then said, people call their boyfriend/girlfriend their friend.
Yeah,
that's teeth.
That's a lot. Those were some loaded comments, guys.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Real
comments.
Navy, man. That was some loaded comments right there.
Yeah, there's a lot to respond to.
Is there anything in there you guys want to unpack? Is there something there that kind of stood out that you wanted to touch there?
While we wait on that, the only reason why I bring this up is because a video came up on my Instagram feed of this Black guy that has one wife and two girlfriends, and they have how many kids? 5 or 6 kids combined. Can't remember, but they all seemed happy. The kids seemed happy. And it was just like, I wonder how big it is here in Canada. So I kind of did some Googling. The first documented polyamorous relationship is with 2 men and 1 woman, and they had a child in 2017. That's the first documented one. And then, and in like, this is all from 2017, it hasn't been updated. So I'm pretty sure it's like tripled by now. In 2017, there were 1,100 polyamorous families in Canada. And then it kind of put it in percentages. So the younger generation between 25 and 44, which is 75%, are in polyamorous relationships. And then 65 and over is 16%. So yeah.
It's funny, like saying that. I know a few polyamorous married couples, I know open relationship couples. I've met, like, the first time I even heard of polyamory was like that term, and that the differentiate, like the learning the differences between being open and polygyny and polygamy. Was probably about 6 years ago. Somebody that I knew or I had just met was like, yeah, it's my girlfriend, and they were polyamorous. And from the conversations with him, it seems that, like, it seems crazy to most, and most people define it with sex. But the one thing that stands out is there's a level of trust and openness and honesty that has to happen for those relationships to work. That you don't, in my opinion, you're not seeing that in most cases, even in monogamous relationships. Like, I think that level of openness and honesty should be all relationships.
Right.
But I think that there's so much assumptions made in monogamy that's why there's a lot of breakdown, in my opinion.
I feel like that's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
Actually. Maybe that's why
there's
a lot of people who are in those relationships are out here winning in comparison to, monogamous relationships, because they do, I guess you could say, have like a higher, what's the word? Like more openness. That's the word I'm looking for.
I met a girl who was there's terms. She was the unicorn in this couple's relationship. And like for her, she was like, it was a great relationship for the most part, but then she had to leave because she started to find herself getting jealous. She started to find herself getting jealous, and that while it is kind of it's a kind of expected as like humans, but it's really something that's not really supposed to be in those relationships as much, because there's an understanding that you're entering into it with. And so it doesn't always work. But
the moment that green-eyed monster comes out, it starts to deteriorate for sure.
Yeah. I think it's dope, personally. I'll say that publicly. I think it's dope. And that's a far cry from, well, actually not really, because I think that a lot of, as with my Christian background, I think a lot of the context that sometimes gets lost. Now, I like I said, I think it's pretty cool. I think if it works for everybody, and they're mature enough to deal with it, I think more power to you. Especially if it's in common. I would say that, and this is probably never gonna be legal here, but I would say like polygamy or polygyny might have a little bit of a better place. Let's say if in regards to Christianity, or in regards to the moral aspect of things, which the first thing you would think was like, oh my God, that's adultery. But if they're married, it's not. But
my question is, with these type of relationships, is it usually, one individual who's like going back and forth from person to person or persons, or like is everyone kind of going around and engaging with each other, or is it usually like there's one like main person or centered person, who goes off and has like, different partners, or is everyone involved like engaging with each other?
There's somewhere, like if this was like Utah, there's and it's like polygamy or polygyny. Polygyny is a man having multiple wives. He just has wives, and they're sister wives, or whatever you'd like to call them.
Right.
Then in a polyamorous relationship, depending on the parameters, it may be that everybody's involved.
Okay.
It depends on the relationship.
Yeah.
I know there was a couple, the couple that was on the red table. Can't remember if they were married or if they were dating, but the couple, they also have a girlfriend and boyfriend.
Oh, so they each have somebody else.
They each have, they each have someone.
But then do they all come together, or is it
not
just
always.
like you got mine?
Not always.
I got mine. We do our thing. We come back.
I think that's not what the relationship is. I can't remember.
There's in those communities, there's this, and I found it really interesting because it's on the rise, and we could sit and shake our head at it, but like there's a lot of in the normal relationships, like there's so many examples of just toxicity and that could be in anything, but I think oddly enough, in those ones, it's like you have to come into those knowing that you have to be super honest. Like you have to be honest with yourself, you have to be honest with everybody involved, or it just doesn't work. And it's like it really, like for me in monogamy, that's how I've had to, like, with when I was saying there's so many things that are left unsaid and assumed, like you have to be really intentional in every single relationship, right? But it's like in those ones, they know it. Like we are, like the monogamy over here, like just like, oh my God, love, and then like 2 months later, everything's toast. I didn't know you brushed your teeth like that. Like,
so annoying. So here's the thing: Bill Gates and his wife Melinda were in a polygamous relationship.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that either. So, okay.
Interesting.
Yes, they were. So Bill Gates would go on like vacations or trips with his, now they're calling it ex-girlfriend.
Oh, so she got so they're not together anymore either? The girlfriend?
I guess not.
Here's the thing.
Would you say Melania got jealous of that relationship and asked for the divorce?
See, we don't know. Ooh. I don't know.
That's right?
Ah,
but here's something.
Right? No more.
Here's something though. Now, a lot of people think that when the relationships are on the rocks, they think that opening it up will fix their problems. It's like, no, it won't. You need to fix your problems.
Right.
But and so you'll hear about couples doing that, but unless they are like doing the work to resolve it, adding somebody else is likely just a recipe for disaster. If the bond between the two isn't right. I didn't know that. I'm gonna be on Reddit or somewhere about this one.
There's an article about it.
Sliding in the DMs, Tim.
She's not my type.
A lot of people.
It doesn't matter.
Shooting their shot right now when they heard that they were getting divorced. So
yeah.
But you just you don't have to give me a full billion. Just like a $500 million.
Just a half.
Just a $500 million out of the $65 billion she'll likely get. That'd be cool with me. I'd be okay.
But I saw there was no prenup or anything either.
I can't remember if they had one.
I don't think they did. They did. But should be interesting. Be interesting.
I don't know.
Just gonna read a couple comments here.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, don't know what happened. Tim, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Karina said, within those multiple partner relationships, you don't think there is an aspect of jealousy between them? We kind of touched on that. Aisha said, that's got to be a specific convo to the dynamic of the individuals and who is okay with what, I think. Karina said, you can go into this feeling like you won't feel jealousy, but as time passes and your relationship develops with each person, I feel like it's bound to happen. Aisha said, relationships are work in full caps. So, and I agree with
Like,
that. They are work.
I would say though that where'd Danny go?
I'm not too sure.
I would say that uh, depending on the dynamic of the let's say if a couple is married and
Mm-hmm.
then this is something that they've wanted to do, or they're
Mm-hmm.
doing it they did it from the jump or whatever. Um, jealousy usually doesn't just pop up out of nowhere unless is in, like, maybe insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, insecurity has no place in these kinds of relationships,
Right.
because let's say if you have this new person, and now the husband and the new girl are spending all kinds of time together, and with leaving one of the partners out, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have jealousy, and rightfully so,
Right.
right? But there has to be parameters, especially if it's like a marriage. Then there's parameters on what the relationship is going to be, what the relationship's going to be like with that other
Mm-hmm.
person. And like, that's how I'd see it going. There has to be a lot of conversations, and from the people
Yeah.
who do this successfully, like, these people are like on another level honest with one another, like on another level. When you see them talk, or when you see them just discuss, or they talk about the relationship, it's really cool, because
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about it, and then when I've seen it, and you just see how close some of them were, and
Yeah.
how real they could be with one another. It was like, man, if more monogamous relationships had that level of honesty. Like, imagine coming home, it's
Yeah.
like, man, honey, I met this person today, and I was just so attracted to them. And
Mm-hmm.
that person is like, oh, really? Okay, tell me about them. Instead of being like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like, I can't. Or be like, yo, man, oh man, me can't, blah, blah. Like,
Right.
um,
Y-
yeah,
y-
it's,
You're saying, or you're kind of like bigging up the honesty
to me,
aspect, which I totally agree with. But my thing is, it's like, what if they're being honest, about those sorts of things, or wanting to be with someone else, or being with someone else, but what if they're lying about other things? You know what I mean? Just because that type of honesty is there doesn't mean that there isn't, you know, other things that they're not being honest about in the relationship. If that makes sense. Do you get what I'm
which
saying?
is true.
Yeah.
And if, well, you know what I
Doesn't
mean? Like, you could
necessarily
have
mean
it
that they're
where
being
they're
honest
they're super honest
all
about the
around.
sexual aspect, because we know this relationship. It's not just about. It's not. It's way more than the sex, and it's way more than than even, like, just the love. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
so much to it. Like, great. You're super honest, but the man doesn't ever clean up after himself. That's going to be a relationship problem. Or he doesn't
Right.
know, he doesn't want to work, or she drinks too much. There's always going to be life happenings in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
This is just another element another element in the relationship that isn't normal.
Right.
So hopefully, you know, I found that there's some things that, like, for example, if I'm trying to be more conscientious,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I can't I can't just, for me at least, I can't just fix showing up on time for work, and then all my rehearsals and all my other stuff are a mess. It usually
Yeah.
takes full scale changes all around for me to make, for me to make the um, um, for me to make improvements in
Yeah.
one area. It usually
For you to
spreads
kick
out to
that habit.
others.
Right.
I'll tell you
No, I
though,
get
in
that.
most cases, like, a lot of people are, if they're talking about honesty and transparency, that's usually going to be one of the bigger things in the relationship. And
Yes.
hope,
You'd hope.
you'd hope.
You'd hope. But the way relationships are going these days, who knows? Who
Well, and
knows?
so
You hear
definitely it
all types
says,
of things nowadays. So to me though,
I've
it's
read.
like to each their own. If you're happy, and like you said, if
Mhm.
if you're upfront about how you want things to be, and how you want things to work out, and everyone involved is okay with that, then do you.
That's right.
Do you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, I do, Devin's comment here, humans aren't necessarily built for this. It's inevitable to catch some kind of feeling. Comfortable scenarios bring emotion. Hate, jealousy is just natural things, a natural thing among us. And I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. But so in reading about these kinds of relationships and knowing that, going very far back, it was normal for men to have more than one wife. Like
Right.
the civilization of our cultures and the absence of full scale wars the way that we've had, which was the thing that depleted the number of men that there were to go around, coupled with the fact that women usually weren't earners. So
Right.
like polygamy was a matter of survival for communities because there was always going to be less men than there were women, and the place for polygamy when it comes to the survival of people,
Right.
isn't a thing here. You go to places that aren't as advanced as Western culture, and polygyny and polygamy still does exist. You
Right.
can't just go and be gripping up a whole bunch of wives. You have to be able to do
To
the
provide.
roles
Yeah.
of a husband. And in the United States, there's a movement in regards to Black polygyny because of the lack of men in that community, or the lack of eligible men and the incarceration of men. So there's a large movement for Black polygyny because of also the crazy stats of Black women who, according to the statistics, will never be married. So there is a movement that is growing at a crazy amount that I've kind of been keeping my eye on that I think is pretty cool.
It does seem interesting, and you know what? I wasn't really aware of that until you just mentioned. But it does make sense. Like you said, there's so many of that community, who's incarcerated or, dead for different reasons and stuff. So yeah, I agree with that. Never thought of it like that, but I will also keep my eye on that movement now that you've brought it to my attention.
I was following there's a Black polygyny page on Instagram, and I was following it for a while, but then it just seemed like a lot of it was sex, and polygyny it's not about sex.
Right.
It's about, or Black polygyny isn't about sex. It's supposed to be about building the Black community, able fathers, being there for even for single mothers, for and for mentorship and all these things. It's not just supposed to be, hey, I got a couple girls. It's not what it was supposed to be about. So I was following.
Right. I'm sure there's
the
some
biggest
people
one
though
I was following it, and I thought it was
take advantage of that though.
Oh, sure.
Or just join the movement simply for, for the sex aspect.
Right.
Things. Yeah. But no, very, very interesting. It seems like we lost Danny.
I think so as well.
She sent a message. She lost her sound, or she's having some sort of technical difficulties. But I do believe this was the last topic that we had for tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm gonna take a quick look.
Okay, just want to make sure we're not missing anything here.
Yeah, that looks like it was about it. Uh-oh. There was the harassment thing. Okay, I'm gonna ask this to the ladies in the group.
Okay, here we go. I knew we were forgetting something.
If a man asks, if you walk by a guy, a stranger, or first of all, has this happened? You're walking, you're doing your thing, and some man says to you, smile. One, has that happened to you? And two, do you take offense to it?
Let me think. has, I guess, in roundabout ways as well. Or sometimes you're just minding your business, you're just walking, you don't really have a reason, to have a huge grin on your face. But I think some people have said that, just to get your attention. I don't necessarily think it was like, hey, I want you to smile, you know what I mean? But I think it's just kind of like a conversation starter for a lot of people. But it has happened. Have I considered it harassment? Yes and no, I guess, because there's so many times, like I said, you're just doing your thing, you're going about your way, and maybe they don't say, hey, smile. Maybe someone just like taps you on your hand or something as you're walking by. That is technically considered harassment, I suppose, right? So I guess it just depends on how deep you take that, right? So
Aisha says no. She says she smiles and she doesn't take any offense to it.
Okay.
And June says yes, and it depends on the mood I'm in at the time, and that is so honest. Because that is so honest. Because you know what, that to me that kind of makes sense. That is like, man, I ain't in the mood. Don't tell me about nothing. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what my day is like. Don't tell me about nothing.
Exactly. I agree with that
like
too.
I there's a, you know what, everybody, Arthur from that you run into at TNT, Arthur Chung. One of my first conversations with him was like, "Why you need to smile?" And so every time
That's true. He is big on that.
Yeah,
he always says that to me all the time. Like, hey, you okay? You just smile, enjoy yourself, dance. So yes, that is true.
The subsequent times I'd see him, I'd look for him, and I'd point,
and then you crack that smile. You crack that smile before he asks you to. Yes, there are some people where you just know that they're expecting it, so you just do it. You know what I mean?
So resting B face is real. And the funniest thing is, the people who have the harshest resting B face have the most incredible smiles. Like some of those, when their whole face just, and it's like, oh my god.
You're like,
right?
Wow, yeah.
But even for myself, like when I'm not smiling, when I'm not smiling, it's I have a post. It was like, oh my god, you're trying to look all mean. And it's like, no. And so I was like, man, like imagine hearing that a lot of times, if like, as a lot of people aren't going to come tell me what to do.
Right.
So I could see why someone may see that as a.
I've gotten that. I don't get it as much as I used to, but like when I was in like high school and stuff, like pardon me?
Sorry, nothing.
When I was like in high school and stuff like that, I do remember people just saying like, when I used to see you, you kind of just had this vibe and you always kind of looked a certain way. I guess they describe it as a resting B face. And then the moment, we click or we start talking, and they're just like, yo, you're chill, your vibes are good, you got good energy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I guess I fall into that category. But most times when, I have been approached and people have told me like, hey, you should smile, I think I'm gonna side with June on this and says it depends on the mood I'm in. Because there's some days, I'd be like, yeah, you're right, or I will smile and kind of laugh and stuff like that. But there's just other days where I'm like, yo, you just I ain't about this. You just need to you just need to leave me alone. So
would you say that, or maybe if you guys, from your guys' experience, are people that are men that do that usually, is that their segue to hit on you, or are some of them just
genuinely telling you,
just say, hey, smile,
like pretty ting,
yeah,
crack a smile. I'm gonna say most people, at least from my experience, it's probably just like a segue to have a reason to talk to you. But again, I think it depends on your relationship with the person who's telling you to smile. Like if it's a random person, most times, again, I'm probably going to assume, they're probably trying to hit on you or whatever. But if it's like somebody that who sees you all the time and they realize like, hey, Candra's looking kind of down today, or she doesn't look like her usual self, or whatever the case may be, then if they say like, hey, smile, then maybe it's just they picked up on a certain energy, and they're just trying to get you out of that mood. So yeah, that's my take on that. Okay. What did Devin say here? Many women do take that as method of opening the door to conversation, which results in a not so warm response.
Yeah.
It's the negative stigma surrounding why a man attempts to address a woman. It's got to be that he's trying to check her. However, the mood does account for a lot with how they respond. Okay.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's a really good point.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And I do feel like a lot of the times, and I'm I'm not a man, so I don't know, and I don't usually go up to guys and say, "Hey, you should smile." Tim, has that ever happened to you? Do you get females just randomly coming up to you and saying like, "Hey, Tim, smile"?
If they know me, no, because they know a smile's like right around the corner.
Right.
But I have had people comment on when I'm not smiling and talk about the difference between when I am smiling and when I'm not, for sure. And it's similar to you, a lot to do with my size and my resting face. I do get a lot of the personality reveal surprise. It's like, oh, yes, you're so nice. I thought you were
this and this and that.
Just a long list of things they thought. Which kind of sucks. But do you know what I mean? Give them a chance.
Tanya says, "Bad man don't skin a grin, don't skin and grin." I was waiting for you to say something, T. I really was. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Let's see here.
Times are changing. Women are more assertive, and they're listen. My big mouth talk about this, but I'm not a woman. But it just seems that, like depending, especially I think there's the context, and then there's also history that you don't know, right? And depending on where she's from, what she's been to, it's just like again. I can just own my space and be responsible for my face. And if you don't like it, you don't have to look. And she may not necessarily say that, but we gotta, as guys, we gotta mind our business sometimes. And it's not their job. It's not their job to make us comfortable with their presence.
That's true. That is true.
And you know what? And if you want to talk to her, be respectful and talk to her. Are you really going to make your intro
telling someone telling someone to smile, is that seen as being disrespectful though? I guess to some people it is, but
to some it is.
Question is why?
To tell a woman to smile is rooted in some level of sexism. The posture of a woman is expected to take on, right?
Okay. There we go.
And so what do you have to say about when I get told to smile? Do you think that has to do with me being just a black man, and is that rooted in just like I need to? And I think I think that it is like I'm kind of expected to make people comfortable because I'm very big and I'm very dark, and so I need to put people at ease with me. The expectation of it is annoying, but it does benefit me at times.
Yeah,
I can't lie. It does benefit me at times when I kind of disarm a situation by being light and things. But again, I think it's different being a large man than being a female,
right?
Female, especially. They trying to get. All right. They just wanted to see the teeth, because as go the teeth, so go the bones.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
I I feel like that's a good place to probably wrap this thing up. What do you say, Mr. Noel?
Sure. I end off with a bunch of teeth. I'm smiling.
Oh my
Thanks
goodness.
everyone for coming out. We'll go check on Danny.
We appreciate it. Real Navy, yes, we're gonna check in and see what happened. I think she's still behind the scenes because she was popping up, the comments and stuff on the screen. So not sure what happened on her end, but yes, as always, great conversation. Thank you so much.
I was gonna go. I'm gonna give a shout out to Devin Roberts. He has some really, really great comments tonight, and and we have some mutual friends like in Toronto. So I might probably hit you up. I might get a DM you, see how we may know each other. But no, there's some really great comments. I like your perspective on things. So thank you for joining us tonight, man.
Yes,
and everybody else too. And Tanya, next time, please, you don't really need to. You're taking your bike ride during the show.
I know, right? She knows better.
That kind of hurts a little bit still.
And throw me an invite next time. So. Throw me an invite. Actually, I can't.
Not during the show.
My bikes are currently getting tuned, so soon though. When they get out of the shop, I'll be ready. Bikes.
How many bikes do you have?
I got 2 bikes, and they're getting tuned up for bike season. So I'm excited for that. Remember, I told you guys in the beginning, I've been working out, trying to get my endurance up, So yeah, I'm getting ready. Getting ready. But yes, everyone, thank you again for tuning in. Keep it real. Until next time.
Stay safe.
Yes,
and don't try your best not to get a $2,000 ticket.
Yes, please. That's one thing. I'm just I ain't playing with that. Ain't nobody getting 2 steps.
You didn't try to get a ticket.
I ain't trying to get a ticket. So,
but from all of us and Danny in technical difficulties land, thank you so much. We really do appreciate the dialogue and you guys being here.
We do. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.